Am I the asshole for letting my sister go thirsty through an entire meal? My sister does this thing where she'll just say something she wants with the expectation that someone will do it for her. For example, if she wants the AC turned on, instead of asking someone to turn it on for her, she'll keep repeating things like, "Oh, isn't it super warm in here? Does anyone else feel really hot?" Or, "I heard that today is a super hot day." And if someone asks her if she wants the AC on, she'll reply with, "No, I'm good. But if you're hot then you should turn it on." Anyways, last weekend it was my birthday, so my family and I went out to celebrate. During the meal, she kept making comments implying that she wanted another cocktail, but wouldn't order it. The waitress even came by and asked if we needed anything, but she didn't order a drink even when we all did. I could tell she was agitated at that point, but it was my birthday so I just ignored her. When we all got home, she got really snippy and said that it was super rude that we all got our own drinks and didn't order one for her. My brother and I brought up that she said no when the waitress asked, but she said that wasn't the issue. In her opinion, we should have known to order her a drink too because everyone else got one, and the fact that we let her go thirsty was inconsiderate. And that in the future we ought to order her drinks too. She also said that she was only saying no to the waitress because her family should have taken care of her words, not mine. The three of us have been kind of arguing back and forth about it, and I'm just tired of fighting. So I wanted to get some more opinions on whether or not I should have ordered her a drink as well. Not the asshole. I think it would actually be considered rude to order someone another cocktail after they specifically told the waitress no. If I say I'm not drinking anymore but someone orders me another drink anyway, I would be annoyed that they decided they knew better about my alcohol consumption than I did. When learned helplessness, weaponized incompetence, and entitlement collide. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If she wanted a drink, she could have ordered one. Weird game she's playing, but nobody else has to play it. Not the asshole. Sounds like she is old enough to drink, otherwise I would have thought she was 8. Why? Oh, with this silly behavior. Hope she's in therapy, she's got issues. Not the asshole. Tell her to go to assertiveness training. Tell her to practice being independent. Tell her people can't read her mind and people don't want to read her mind. That's what her mouth is for. My mother does this. It's annoying. She'll get in the car and ask, "Do you want coffee, elbow pit?" I'll say, "No. But we can stop at Java Jack's on our way if you want." Not a problem. She'll say, "No. Not if nobody wants any." I used to just do whatever she implied she wanted, but I eventually got annoyed with it and stopped accommodating the passivity. Now she thinks I don't care about her, but she's too passive to announce it. Edit to say not the asshole. Would I be the asshole if I tell my sister-in-law I prefer to look after my own kids, not hers? I'm 40 male, a father of 3. My sister-in-law, 27 female. And her husband, 27 male, had their first kid 2 years ago. She's my wife's sister and we tend to see each other at least once a month for family events. For my wife and I, we manage our kids ourselves. If we go somewhere, one of us is always keeping an eye on them, making sure they're not getting into trouble, especially making sure the youngest, a toddler, is safe, changing her if necessary, refilling her sippy cup, stuff like that. It's our job. If something happens, one of us pops up and takes care of it. Sister-in-law and her husband take a different approach and are frequently asking for help. If we're all eating dinner and their kid has a poopy diaper, they'll sometimes get it, sometimes turn to one of us and ask, "Would you mind?" The other day, I'm at a party and just came back inside after getting something for my kids, ready to sit down to eat, and sister-in-law asks, "Baby left her sippy cup upstairs, would you mind getting it?" Her and her husband both sitting down and perfectly capable. It's not like they've asked a few times when they're overwhelmed or there's only one of them. There's been times one of them is lying on a couch reaching a book and ask me for something. It's not like what they ask for anything I'd consider a huge inconvenience, so I feel petty saying something, but part of me just wants to say, "Look, my wife and I are responsible for our kids, you're responsible for yours. I don't ask you to change our kids' diapers or grab their sippy cups from the next room, don't ask me." Would I be the asshole? Not the asshole. In my family, we'd be asking, "Are your legs broke? I'll do it later. I just need to catch my breath first, eat something before I pass out from hunger," etc. etc. Weaponized incompetence is your friend here. Deflect with benign excuses to minimize any backlash from other family members. Edited to correct the inaccuracy. YWNBTA, but you don't need to qualify your statement. Chances are it would make everyone awkward due to the shock factor of them being told no, and them later victimizing themselves and painting you as the bad guy. Try this instead. Them. "Can you go upstairs and get X's sippy cup?" You. "No thanks, I'm so ready to eat." Sits down and looks at wife, and ends the convo with sister-in-law by starting one with wife. Insert random question, comment or statement here. No fuss, no drama, no way for them to use it against you. Answer, what are you busy with? And just look at them until they answer. Depending on what answer is, tell them I'm here enjoying my day and minding my children. I'd appreciate if you do the same. Honestly, where's your wife? She's letting you be disrespected. Not the asshole. People like that get very comfortable allowing others to do for them, and then it becomes an expectation and a bad habit down the line. Little things start to become very big things with entitled behavior. It would be one thing if she reciprocated that energy when it came to your children, but clearly that's not the issue. I would have said, no sorry, I'm actually getting ready to eat. I might have told the bill, hey, your wife needs you to go grab the sippy cup, or not said anything at all and went and ate. Nip that behavior in the bud now, so they can actually parent their children even when they're around other people. Not the asshole. I cannot imagine asking someone to change my child or get something for him when his dad and I are both present and available. Am I the asshole for saying guests could go ahead and leave my 4th of July party? I, 33F, hosted a 4th of July party for my friends. A friend brought their relatively new spouse. Met him once at a restaurant and spoke for a few minutes. I have 2 German Shepherds, Jameson and Guinness. My house is their house. I chose this property because it was a good fit for them. This friend, 32F, dislikes my dogs on a bad day to being tolerant of them on a good day. When they arrived, both dogs wanted to say hi, neither my friend or the spouse acknowledged them. I found that annoying. Literally everyone else that showed up said hi to my dogs. Like all 20 other people. They sat on the couch when Guinness came up to them. I see him say something to my friend. My dogs are the sweetest things ever. He gently pushed Guinness away and he asked me if I could put the dogs in another room, citing they don't want the dog bothering them during the party. I backed up my dogs, told them I'm sorry, but this is Jameson and Guinness's house, you need to deal with it or leave. My dogs live here and they don't get put away for anyone. If you just pet them, they'll leave you alone. After a brief convo, they decided to leave. I told them they don't call the shots at my house about my dogs. The rest of my friends were split on how I acted. Some said it wasn't a big deal to put them in another room for a few hours and others said I was right. Am I the asshole? You're not an asshole for declining your guest's request, but being annoyed when they didn't say hi or pet your dogs. When you know they don't care for dogs. Get over yourself. And then gloating about how you call the shots after they decided to leave. Definitely you are the asshole. Neither my friend or the spouse acknowledged them. I found that annoying. Why? So you expect everyone who comes over to home to love dogs? Do you not get that a lot of people are afraid of dogs, German Shepherds are big dogs? Or that some people are allergic to dogs? I have cats, I know people don't like cats, so as a good host I'll put them away in a separate room. Work on finding a good balance between being a good dog owner and a good host. You were definitely rude to your guests, unnecessarily, almost hostile from the way you wrote your post. You are the asshole. You are the asshole for expecting your friend who doesn't like dogs to say hi to your dogs or pat them. Your friend doesn't like dogs. Imposing your dogs on someone who doesn't want it is rude. Declining to stash your dogs in another room, I think that's okay. Ideally, you let people know ahead of time that the dogs will be there so they can proceed accordingly. You are the asshole. Love dogs, have had many. But being annoyed because your guests didn't say hi? And you already know your former friend isn't fond of them to begin with? You could have called the dogs off without an issue, if you wanted to be a decent host. You say you backed up your dogs, like they were so hurt and offended that someone would not be excited to see them. You might be 33 but you're emotionally more like 13, but that comparison would be insulting to most 13-year-olds. Get a life. You're one of those dog people that give the rest of us a bad rep. You got annoyed they didn't say hi to your dogs when you know one of them is uncomfortable around dogs? Don't invite them in the first place citing their discomfort around your dogs. If you do, be a good host and call your dogs away if you see them bothering the guests that you know are uncomfortable around them. Finally, no, it isn't hard to shut your animals away for a short part of the day if you're going to bring people into your home that aren't comfortable around them. You are the asshole. You know, I love dogs, and if I'd been at your party I would for sure have been saying hello to them. But not everybody loves or even like dogs, and that's okay too. I think it says something, that you were annoyed that 2 people out of 20 didn't say hello to your dogs. I know you say that if you just pet the dogs that they'll leave you alone, but not everyone is comfortable doing that, and I think it's rude to host a party and not being willing to accommodate 2 people who are uncomfortable because of your dogs. Fair enough, you gave your friends the choice to leave, but there was no need to keep telling them off for not being cool with your dogs. You are the asshole. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my more fit coworker? I am a camp counselor, 25M, who works with elementary-aged boys. To give some context, I am incredibly short and fat. I am under 5 feet tall and around 200 pounds. This does not affect my ability to do my job. I'm just as active as any other counselor. I work with the kids just as much. I have to get blood tests done regularly for unrelated reasons, related to why I'm so short. And there's never really any concern when it comes to my cholesterol or insulin or anything weight related. I'm just saying this so you have some context for my general appearance and the fact that no, my weight doesn't affect my health or my level of activity. My co-counselor is a guy around my age who is, I think, a baseball player. We could not look more different. He's got more than a foot of height on me and probably about the same weight, so he's obviously more visibly fit. He brags a lot about how even after we spend all day chasing kids in the sun, he still goes to the gym for a couple of hours. The issue is when it comes to actually having to use strength practically, I outdo him every time. I'm not trying to do it intentionally. But when we have to carry 20 kids' backpacks and he can only handle 8 while I have 12, or when he can't open a jar, or when we have to lug heavy equipment and he's huffing and puffing while I'm not having a problem, it becomes pretty evident that I am just stronger than him, at least for stuff like that. I'm sure he could outbench me or whatever proper fitness stuff is, and trust me, he crushes me when we play sports with the kids. I'm just talking about that kind of work. The issue is that the kids have started to pick up on the fact that I am the strong counselor. If they want to be picked up or can't open something in their lunch or want a break from carrying their bag on a hike, they come to me. Apparently, my co-counselor complained to one of the other counselors that I am embarrassing him because a guy like me shouldn't be able to be stronger than him. That counselor then came to me and told me I should tone it down because it can be hard for someone who prides themselves on being an athlete to be worse at something than a guy like me. I said there was no way I was going to do my job worse just to protect his ego, and the other counselor said I was being a jerk, and as the summer goes on the boys might start bullying my co-counselor if they think he's weaker than me, which I don't think is going to happen, but I'm not sure. Am I the asshole for not wanting to stop doing my job the way I'm doing it so that I don't hurt this guy's feelings? Not the asshole. Keep doing what you're doing. Your coworkers make judgments based on your appearance and they hate being proven wrong. Keep proving them wrong. Not the asshole. You're just doing your job, and from the sounds of it, a pretty good one at that. If anyone's the asshole here, it's your co-counselor. Sure, lots of people feel insecure about their strength, or whatever superficial way in which they measure themselves, but he should in no way be disrespectful to you like that. You are living a healthy life, and he should be happy for you for that, instead of complaining that he should be stronger just because he looks fitter. Looks aren't everything. You aren't embarrassing him, you're just providing someone the kids know they can rely on, instead of a co-counselor who just complains about the other one. Punishing you for going above and beyond because you have a medical condition certainly seems like something. Legally, regardless of the country you're in, I don't imagine that's smiled upon. Personally, I just start pressing them on what a guy like you means. Make them say it out loud, and ask them if they'd be giving you shit for doing a good job if you look different. Set them up to say out loud what they know will make them look like an asshole, and in hot water legally, if disability is a protected class where you are. Double standards and punishment for exceeding criteria. Doing well certainly sounds like actively punishing you for having a medical condition. Lol, a guy like you shouldn't be stronger than him, sure sounds like some bullying to me. Also sounds like maybe both your co-counselors need to be introduced to some strongman competitions and some images of the strongest men and women in the world. Turns out strength requires girth. The thin plus definition is just really pretty to look at. Bahaha. So some random coworker who isn't even your boss decided to be the mouthpiece for a dude who is intimidated by a guy like you. If a grown man can be bullied by a bunch of boys that he's responsible for, he needs another job. Not the asshole. You are not responsible for any adult's feelings or insecurities. Not the asshole. It's not your fault he's going to the gym to work out the show-off muscles. If he wants to be stronger, then he should tailor his own workout to focus on strength rather than cosmetics. Also, he has much bigger problems if he's getting bullied by elementary-aged boys.